Whoa, I still know Kung Fu. What is going on?
I still know what a good Matrix movie is.
I have no comment.
What is going on? We got the legends in the house, hanging out with the Samurai Guy. I'll get it right one day. We're going to be talking about the Matrix regurgitations. Yes, we're going to talk about that movie today. The Matrix recycling. Yes, that's right. It recycles. But first off, introducciones. We have actor, film director, stuntman, martial artist Kyle Wong in the house. That's right. What's going on, brother? How have you been? It's been a while.
It's been quite a while, and I've been busy. Sorry, guys. But it's good to see everybody.
It's a good thing, though. You know, it's a good thing that you're busy, right? Doing that filmmaking magic.
Definitely.
That's right. And my brother from another mother, Rob from Entertainment Talk Nation, is back chilling with the Samurai Guy in the movie dojo. We're getting ready to talk about the Matrix Resurrections. But first, before we get into it, don't forget this will be a spoiler-filled review. So spoilers. But first, gotta give a shout out to the Movie Dojo Army and everybody watching here. We got Chris Pierce in the house. What's going on? Certified Badass channel member. What's going on? Severio, Eric Planter, B. James, AJ Mason, John Martinez, Evelina, Will Thorburn. That's right, the sexy sumo. Oh shit. And he says here, Neo, aka Bullet Shield.
I agree.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. All right. Omniblast. That's right. The legend. That's right. Herself. Vionel in the house. Justin in the house. Oh my goodness. Oh shit. Badasses are among us. That's right. We're going to get into it here. So really quickly, The Matrix Resurrections. Quick rundown right here, directed by Lana Wachowski, starring our boy John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jonathan Groff, Jessica Henwick, y'all know she's my favorite, Neil Patrick Harris, and many others, Jada Pinkett Smith. A very odd cameo from Christina Ricci was strange.
Yeah.
Okay.
So off.
So she's in there, and many others. All right, quick plot synopsis. So return to a world of two realities. One, everyday life. The other, what lies behind it. To find out if his reality is a construct, to truly know himself, Mr. Anderson will have to choose to follow the white wabbit once more. Oh my goodness. All right. So first, quick shout out to all. Kyle, you know we got to do it. You got to represent, right? They're family for you. That's right. And your Samurai Guy loves what they do. Shout out to all the stuntmen, all the martial artists, all the badasses, the actors that worked really hard to try to make a good movie.
And
shout out to them.
And
it's not their fault.
A shout out to Chad Stahelski, who plays Tiffany's husband in there, the director of John Wick movies, and who was the stunt coordinator throughout the whole Matrix franchise.
Shout out to Chad for sure.
And, shout out to Chad being Chad.
Yeah, pretty much. So shout out to you guys. You work your ass off. You work hard, and major shout out to you guys. You guys tried it. You work your asses off to try to make a good movie. It's not your fault with the end result. It's not your fault with the script. All right. So before we get into it here. If you know Samurai Guy, you know what my issue is with the film. I'm interested. We're going to lead up to it. I'm interested to hear what Rob has to say. And all I got to say is, Rob, do you have superpowers? Because so far your predictions are like perfect, and you predicted. You called it out. I was trying to be positive with the trailer reaction. I was like, you know what, this might be fun. Let's go. Fuck it. And you were like, no. No, this is not gonna work.
I was very optimistic on the first trailer. The second trailer, once the veil was pulled up a little bit, I was like, oh, this is what I think they're gonna do. And but it was actually worse than I expected.
Okay.
Because aside from what I thought might happen, there were a lot of other things that, because the trailer doesn't make a movie. And there was so much more in this movie that I can't even believe what I watched.
Right.
Yeah, I can't believe what I watched. We'll get into that.
We'll get into it. And Kyle, Kyle is heavy in on the sci-fi, as well as Rob. So, and Kyle is very good at philosophical thinking. So it'll be interesting to hear what you think about the script and what interesting concepts they brought that you liked, that you were like, well, that's cool, or what they botched.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. But Rob, why don't you just go ahead and lead us in and just talk a little bit about the plot synopsis in the beginning of the film. What do we got going on?
So basically, this is we're lifting off from Matrix Revolutions. Neo is repaired essentially, so he's kind of like a cyborg now in the real world because he didn't necessarily die, but he wouldn't have survived with this fight. So he gets reinserted back into the Matrix. What's interesting is, God, here we go. What's interesting is that not only does he get reinserted back into the Matrix, but so does Trinity, who was dead for at least a good 6 hours before the robot said, why not? Let's give it a shot. Let's throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean? Let's just plug her with a bunch of shit, see if we get a pulse, and they did. And they both got reinserted back into the Matrix. So now this Neo is 60 years later, and his residual look to himself looks like a Neo that's naturally aged about 20 years. But the rest of the world sees him as this goofy old, yes, right there, this goofy old, long-haired, like, I don't know if I'm an old, like, still alive, balding, Steve Jobs, or if I'm you know what I mean? So, and he's
or
a video
guy
game
with a white van.
Right. And he's a video game designer, and his most, treasured accomplishment was creating the Matrix trilogy video game. Yes, video game that has taken the world of the Matrix by storm. And Trinity is a Susie homemaker with 2 kids and a husband, so nothing really big for her. She just hops into the coffee shop every now and then. But essentially, this is basically that's basically where the story picks up, and Neo is still having subconscious dreams about the Matrix, and he kind of feels the way he felt in the first movie. There's something off. There's something he's looking for, something more. The Matrix game is like a subconscious expression of his experiences, and that's kind of where the movie kind of takes off from there, and things start to open up. It plays very similar to the first movie.
Yeah, and that was it's weird. This movie almost feels like Warner Brothers really wanted to reboot the franchise. Yeah. And then Lana was like, "No, fuck it. Let me come back and you're not going to do that.
Myself.
Let me just try to write a story and continue it from there." That's what it feels like, because it's very similar. I mean, right in the beginning, and we have Jessica here plays the character of Bugs. It's nice to see a character that has some sort of personality in the Matrix movie.
Yes. Actually, she was one of the bright spots in the movie. I actually liked her character, but they didn't really utilize her a whole lot after the initial. She was. I felt she was used as a catalyst to get Neo, which in turn makes Morpheus absolutely useless. It's just, oh man, don't get.
Yeah, it's started. Like the movie. The movie did 2 things. The movie set up this character as one of the leads, maybe the lead of the film, and then the movie just forgets about her towards the end. As well, the movie also forgets about, towards the end, Diet Agent Smith here.
Diet? No. Not Diet.
Okay.
This is motherfucking Crystal Light Agent Smith, okay? All right, this ain't even Diet, okay? Diet would be if they did like a CGI version of Hugo Weaving. This is Crystal Light, like extra sugar-free. Like this is, you might as well just drink water.
Yeah. That's it.
Don't get me started with this guy.
Sugar free.
Like every video game, he's that buggy version of Hugo Weaving that just every time they
that's the unpatched version.
Yes.
That's version 0.013.
Exactly. He was unpatched and he's just like bugging out nonstop. Like, oh, we can't get him right.
And for the record, they mentioned patches in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they patched the Matrix, and they're not always talking about the video game.
Right.
Oh. And I'm just like, God damn. Like, he has too much of a personality that I did not like him whatsoever. I'm just like, oh yeah, what happened to him? And then, oh yeah,
That was
good.
it.
This is like if this guy is like if Hugo Weaving's Agent Smith fucked a Backstreet Boy, and this is what we got. You know what I mean? It's that crossbreed. He looks too handsome to be an agent, but not handsome enough to be on a boy band.
So we're talking about that one band called VIP back in the late 90s.
Yeah, and this is.
Yeah,
I'm wishing right now, instead of putting like vape liquid in here, I could put like cocaine. Because this fucking movie.
We don't need you to have a heart attack.
I know,
we
seriously.
Need you, we need you. Oh my God. And just a quick shout out to the people that enjoyed the film. All right. All right. We don't have any issues with you. There's nothing wrong with you. If you guys love the movie, that's awesome. Okay. But we have to be honest here on the channel. So but yet we haven't heard what Kyle has to say. But Kyle, we'll get to you in a second, okay?
Yep.
All right. So in the beginning, we have Bugs investigating a program loop, right? And we see scenes from the original Matrix, iconic scenes, except it's not the Trinity we know. It's somebody else. The same thing when Agent Smith shows up. It's actually played by Morpheus, who doesn't know he's Morpheus yet.
Yeah, Morpheus.
So we have some solid action. I mean, I'll be honest. As soon as the agents have the aim of the stormtroopers, apparently, but I was still enjoying.
Oh, don't get me started on that shit. Oh, oh my God,
I was still enjoying. As soon as the action started, I was like, okay, we're here. Let's go. We're back in the Matrix. Let's get the flippity flips and the slow motionies. And my girl Jessica's badass, so she's doing her thing. And she runs in to Morpheus, and they go into a room, and they have a quick discussion. And basically, he's like, you know what, we both have the same feelings that something is not right, something is wrong. And she basically convinces him that he's Morpheus. He's like, yes, I am Morpheus, and I must find the one. And that's it. Next scene, they're getting chased by the agents, and you get some cool, fun stuff here. And they go through the window. The action continues on the outside, and Morpheus, who in real life is dead. So Rob, even though this Morpheus has been freed in a way, what do they do to continue Morpheus's involvement throughout the film?
He turns into. Do you remember that? I'm sure you guys who haven't seen it remember the robot baby from the end of Revolutions.
Yeah.
So he turns into like a full-bodied version of that can come into the real world as these little nanobots. And can I just say, I didn't mention this in my review. I just want to say this here. Cute robots that are on the good guy side. I'm not down with that.
Yeah.
Not down with that.
Rob,
these guys, there's these little robots that. So here's the amazing thing. There is a potentially great story in this movie, but they chose this movie over that. And the story was the machines had a war. They fought each other because some of them, very interesting, because some of the machines actually sided with the humans.
Yeah.
And this is how in this new Matrix, in this new world, you see that there's certain upgrades that the humans have now. Even in their home, it's not Zion anymore. I think it's called AO, something like that. IO, yeah. And then the ship has like a fucking tail now. Like, I don't know what that does to it, but it has a tail. Right. And they got these little robot buddies that come around. And one of them is this thing that looks like a little cute baby hawk that you would see in a movie like WALL-E. Yeah. And it's just cute. And it comes up and it's like, ew, ew. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, there it is. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
It's Disney presents the Matrix.
How dare Proxy
you,
Warner
Rob?
Brothers.
How dare you, Rob, talk bad about Sabebe?
Sabebe. Is that what they call it? I don't remember.
Atakalis and Kujaku. How dare you, Rob?
Such lovely names.
But yeah, I that was I was interested. I was like, yo, machines went against each other. Some machines joined us, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then we had Sabebe and friends
Yep.
show up, and I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this.
I can tell you how I feel. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. That's how I feel.
I
love the Matrix, dude. We were talking about this like the other day. We did the review and all that last week. I love the Matrix. To see, not look, I could be slightly more forgiving if this was another director, but the person who made the original ruined her own shit.
Rob?
Who does that?
Rob?
Yes?
How do you feel about this movie again?
Oh, don't.
I know. But here's the thing. I before we get to the Fat Samurai Guy rant, to be honest, I was actually enjoying the movie, at least the first 30 minutes. Now, a lot of the big complaints of this movie was it's boring and stuff like that. I'm not going to argue and defend this movie that it's not boring. I was not bored. However, I was interested in the first 30 minutes because I was interested to see where it was going. I was curious about it. I was like, okay, all right, let's see what they're doing here. And of course, with the whole meta thing here, it is what it is. But I was just still interested in like, okay, let's see, what we're doing here. And like Rob mentioned earlier, in the real world, in the Matrix, Thomas Anderson is struggling. He keeps having these dreams and nightmares of the movies, the video games.
Mm-hmm.
And, but at the same time, he still remembers things. And there was the little nostalgia member berries thrown in there when they would show parts from the films. And he runs into Trinity here in a little coffee shop, and they can tell there's something, they sense each other. They know something, but she got kids. So, they ain't going to happen. But I was interested to see, okay, where does this go, right? Where does this go? And then we have this version of Morpheus, and be honest, very, very different take on Morpheus, very charismatic, dancing around, a lot of energy.
Very flamboyant.
Yeah. Kyle, what do you think about this version of Morpheus?
Here's the thing, like having a new Agent Smith and a new Morpheus, it's just like, okay, now you're gonna have more personality than you could fathom. And it's just like, no, don't. Just don't. They honestly should have not brought these characters back. That's
right.
My honest opinion. They should have not brought these characters back. Like, is it my turn to rant on this whole thing now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, man.
Go ahead.
All right. So when the first 10 minutes is definitely a rehash of the original Matrix. And then when it cuts to Bugs literally watching it and then gets involved in it, I was like, okay, I understand what you guys are trying to do for this film, trying to start it off, like get everyone with the nostalgia and the member berries of everything. Right. But at the same time, trying to introduce this new character. But again, like you guys said, she literally does nothing after that. She's just like, okay, you're part of this plan, but other than that, you're no longer a main character. We're giving it back to Neo. And then when it gets to
Crystal Light Neo.
Yeah. When it gets
doesn't have his powers.
When he gets to Neo's, like the whole section and how he feels, I was like, okay, this is literally the Matrix film that you never saw in the first film, which is everyone doing their everyday life in a continuous loop, as they said. And I was like, okay, this is how everyone exists in the Matrix. And it was interesting to see it that way from what I saw. And from the original trailer, I literally kept thinking in my head, like, this is where if this was a reboot and not a sequel at the time when they showed the second trailer, I seriously thought, okay, this is if Neo took the blue pill. That's what I originally thought. Right. And it would have been an entirely different film.
Wow. I like that. That's interesting.
That's what it would have been. But then when they said, all right, it is actually a sequel, when they showed, here's Smith. Oh, yeah, his name is Smith? Oh, my God. There's no way he's Agent Smith. How can you not know that? His name is fucking Smith. But the fact that all that shit started happening and then they finally pull him out and fucking Morpheus. Oh, God. Fucking Morpheus. He's not needed in the fucking film. It could have just been Bugs. It could have been Bugs because my friend and I, we were discussing that this movie could have worked in 2 parts. Hear me out, people. Hear me out.
All right.
The reason why we say 2 parts is because it could have focused on Bugs really trying to figure out why is the Matrix acting this way, and then the halfway point is finally getting to Neo, and then all the way at the end, why is Neo in the fucking Matrix again and doing all the shit, and then finds out that I need Trinity, and then that it would lead on to the second part, which is him trying to get Trinity back. So that would have been like a proper film, like
interesting,
both ways. But then you have everything jam packed near the end, where all right, here's why Neo needs Trinity, and their whole revelation of like fucking the Matrix needs them both. And then I literally thought about this today. So as Rob was saying, like a new director could have done it. Like James McTeague could have done it. Anyone else could have done it. And there was also talks that it could have been a young Morpheus prequel, like back then, and all this other shit. And then when Lana Wachowski says that I will do this, let me do this on my own, and her sister Lily did not want to do it. I really read what the reason why Lana did it, and the fact is, like, she was coping with like her parents passing, and the fact that, like, she said that Neo and Trinity are the only ones that I know more than my parents, in a sense, and just this coping. So she made this film as a coping mechanism, and then I seriously thought about it this way. So there is a line in the film that the Analyst, which is still the most stupidest twist, that Neil Patrick Harris is the fucking villain and not Smith, even though having Smith as a villain, it would have been really stupid. But the fact that the Analyst did say that the Matrix could not work without Neo and Trinity because it kept collapsing or whatever else, and it was buggy. So they had to resurrect them in their own way. So he managed the machines. And then this is not a philosophical thing. This is more of like a life emotional thing, which I now understand if you see it at this point. But the way that Lana Wachowski was probably coping with her parents passing, she literally said that Neo and Trinity were part of her life. So saying that her parents were a part of her lives, or part of her and her sister's lives, helped shape the world around them. So basically, Neo and Trinity,
inspiration.
Yeah, and basically Neo and Trinity, the Matrix could not work without them because they helped shape the Matrix even more. And that's the whole thing on that. And that's the way I finally realized it while working out today. And I was like,
what's going on? No, that's interesting information. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's very sweet. That's very nice.
Sometimes,
but go ahead.
Sometimes when someone famous, their parents die or a parent dies, Michael Jordan, his father died, drops like 60 points at the Garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a couple of football players in the NFL over the years, parents die, they have a big games. Sometimes when these things happen, people rise to the occasion. She didn't. She didn't. Sometimes that happens.
No. Yeah.
I have to, it's unfortunate. I can't imagine my parents dying.
Oh, yeah.
With that said, it's not going to prevent me from criticizing the shit out of this movie.
No, of course not.
And maybe she should have waited. Sometimes people cope. Maybe they should wait before they take a step like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe that's what it is.
Like the script in the film, Warner Brothers was going to make the movie without them.
Yeah, I guess I could understand why she would rush back. Because you don't want somebody else to take your baby and ruin it.
Right.
And I don't. It's tough knowing that part. I didn't know that, but
no. And again, there's no real like. Again, this film definitely flopped. Kevin Lambert just said it's a flop. It's a definite flop. Like,
yeah,
it's sad.
I think it made like half of what they expected.
Yeah, not even half. Even.
When Sing 2 beats you.
Oh, geez. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is this?
Is
this a movie?
Lost to Sing 2. Yeah. Sing 2 made more money.
Wait, this is a movie and there's a sequel already? What happened to the first one?
I guess it's on Blu-ray.
It's basically an animated Pitch Perfect. Just remember that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's
what the fuck is going on in Hollywood? Really? What the fuck is going on?
Digging up the graves of everything.
Yeah, it's not good that sing to beat a Matrix movie.
Yeah.
But no, that's very interesting, Kyle, that you brought that up. Thank you, because that's I did not know that, but I see it makes sense now.
Yeah.
However, we still have to be honest.
No, of course.
With the film. And was there anything else you liked about it before I get to my issues?
Like, definitely, like I said, the fact that as much as most people said, like, yeah, it was just a love story than anything else, and I could see why they went with more of a love story. It was just that, and than just the action, because how can you top the original film? You can't really top the original film, and everyone kept saying, like, yeah, it should be like topping the first film, like how they tried to top it with this Reloaded, tried to top it with Revolutions, they couldn't. And the fact that they really tried to game change again, but it was just the generic, like, here we go. But I would say having Neo try and save Trinity and try to actually make her remember was an interesting aspect. But again, like, we should have had more bugs, like, leading the story than just anything else.
Someone in the comments brought up the fact that this was a $190 million budget movie, and they were like, where did the money go?
Yeah, because I'll tell you one thing, the action scenes were very watered down compared to what we saw in the prior movies, even the sequels. You know, sequels.
All right, we're getting close to. Everybody's bringing up some great points here. We're getting close to the fat rant, the first fat rant of the day. All right, hold on one second. I got my bootleg notes over here. All right, so Morpheus shows up, you know, and offers, you know, Mr. Anderson, hey, get the red pill, man, see what's going on. Of course, he turns him down. Right after that, we have a big shootout. They're hunting him down. And Crystal Light, Agent Smith, just automatically remembers who he really is. And shouts, Mr. Anderson, grabs a gun and almost tries to kill our boy here, Neo. And of course, we got everybody's going to be Crystal Light. We got Crystal Light Morpheus in here.
We'll call him Tab Morpheus.
Tab Morpheus.
For those oldies in chat who know what Tab is.
It's still in this point of the movie. I'm like, okay, some of the shooting action sequences are okay. All right. I'm entertained in a way. I'm kind of on board. And of course, they bring him here. And here's a lot of our member-berry moments when they show scenes from the other movies that apparently are video games now in the Matrix. They're known as games. But he takes the pill, and they have Sabebe and Ataklis rescue Rob's favorite characters, rescue Neo, bring him back to the real world. During all this, he does come across, and how convenient that him and Trinity are close by together. But that's the whole point of the movie. And she's still sleeping, and she's still under the influence of the Matrix. I thought it was interesting earlier when Bugs had her little sit-down chat with Neo, and she said that, you know, she was just with a window washer, you know, on the building, you know, and then one day she saw Neo basically go kill himself, and he ends up jumping off the building here, and she's like, you never fell. She's like, you just disappeared. And that's what woke her up. She was like, what the fuck just happened? You know, so I thought that was interesting. Trying to get Neo out of danger. Interesting little, solid little action sequence on the train.
I did like the train scene.
I'm still on board here. Like, I'm still like, okay, I'm liking, this is a decent story so far. I'm intrigued and interested in what's going on. The action shootouts are solid. You know, so far I'm like on board. And of course they plug them back in. And really, man, I was just like, man, this is the first fucking movie all over again. I don't know if this was a good idea. That's where I was at this point. I was just like, all right, but I'm still with it. Let's see what happens. They plug him in. And basically, this is what Tab Morpheus tells Neo. He goes, I got it here. Hold on. Neo wrote him as an algorithmic reflection of two forces, Morpheus and Agent Smith, that helped him become himself. That's why there's two of them. That's why there was kind of like a mix-up split between them, and Morpheus was Agent Smith, and Agent Smith was Crystal Light Agent Smith. That's the sci-fi gobbledygook that the Matrix is known for, to bring it up. But you got to shake off the bots. Got to shake off the bots.
Fucking
So let's
bots.
do some martial arts. Let's do some martial arts, right? Because it's a Matrix movie, right? You know, we gotta have some kung fu, electric boogaloo up in here. Let's do it. So you know, hey, time to shake off the box. You know, the bots. Neo, right? I'm like, all right, here we go. You have the dojo zooming in.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that crackling?
Yeah.
He's
That's
revving up.
Bruce Lee martial arts shit right there. And I was like, here we go, son. Here we go. And all I gotta say, who the fuck decided, hey, let's shoot every goddamn martial arts fight scene in a dark room with a little bit of light trickling in? Every single goddamn martial arts fight scene in this movie is this. Who the fuck made this decision? Lana, the cinematographer, the guy who does the lighting? Like, seriously.
The lunch boy.
Dude, who decided? Now, if you're going to take one fight and make it that way to be artsy fartsy, fine. I'm not a fan of it. But every single goddamn martial arts fight in this movie was shot in a dark place, a dark area, with a little bit of sunlight coming in. And you'll see this design throughout the movie. You'll see when Neo's sitting down with Crystal Light, Agent Smith, when he's his boss, his video game boss, right? You'll see they have the same silhouette type of look. When he's sitting down, it's a theme throughout the movie, even at the end. When this lovey-dovey romance time with Trinity, you'll see that there's just the two shadows and a light in the backwards, and that behind them, that somebody went for a style. Unfortunately, you don't do this, and that's fine, but you don't do that shit when it comes to martial arts fight scenes, man. I have not altered these screenshots, you guys. Are you ready for this shit? What the fuck is this? What is this? There's no defending this shit.
Travis.
Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this shit. Yeah. Woo. Do you guys remember the dojo? You remember the dojo fight that was awesome from the first movie that came out 5 billion years ago? Well, here you go. Let's redo that, but you can't see anything. Who the fuck did this? Check this screenshot out. I didn't alter this in any way. When they fight in the building. Look at this. Who the fuck decided, hey, this looks amazing. This looks great. Ooh, hey, let's go. Hey, Kyle, what's Morpheus doing? Let's go see what Morpheus is doing. Oh, I wish we could see what Morpheus is doing, but apparently we can't.
You know what the sad part is?
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
A bit of me is thinking, like, was Alien vs. Predator Requiem better lit than this?
I think it's still worse.
No, yeah, definitely worse.
You know, oh, hey, what's my girl Jessica Henwick doing? What's Bugs doing? Well, sure be nice to see what she's doing.
Yeah, I can
throughout
these
fight sequences, when they're in the fucking light, the little sliver that comes through, you can kind of see what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's off and on. And you mean to tell me every goddamn martial arts fight scene in your fucking movie has this horrible, absolutely atrocious lighting? Are you fucking kidding me right now? There's no defense for this. I don't care how much you love this goddamn movie. There is no defense. 5 billion years later, you make a goddamn Matrix movie, and every single fight scene looks like this. And hey, when they're in that small light sliver of sun, hey, you can finally see something. How nice. How convenient. Thank you, movie, for letting us see slivers of the goddamn fight. And it's not just that. A lot of the camera angles are a little crowded. You know, obviously Keanu Reeves is older, so he's a little slower. But I can forgive that. But when every single goddamn fight is this, and even the action finale at the end. Hey, Kyle, do you remember the action finale? Was it amazing? What happened? Rob, what happened at the end? that blew
bunch of
your fucking
motherfuckers
mind.
chucked themselves out the window.
That was it. And here, let me show you a little shot of that. A motorcycle action sequence. What the fuck, man? There is no defense for this shit. Did they not have? Well, apparently they did have the budget. But this is what you don't have a budget. You know what I mean? When you don't have a budget, you can't show the background. You gotta make it poorly lit, right? So you can have your extras in the front. Dude, when there is light, you see it. But this is not acceptable. And when we got to that first dojo fight, I was actually okay with the movie. Right when up to that dojo fight, dude, there's the needle. There's the fucking needle jagging me in the goddamn ribs. And I'm like, ah. And then it came back later in the warehouse fight, and I was like, and then later in the underground fight with Agent Smith with Crystal Light. This is supposed to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And there's the fucking but hey, it's okay because the goddamn member berries came in during that fight. And hey, do you remember when Agent Smith punched through the pillar in the 1999 movie? Well, hey, he does it here again. That should be enough. Yay. Yay, movie. Yeah. You fucked it up. Now, plot-wise and sci-fi gobbledygook, Samurai could, whatever, fine. I can kind of go with it. I don't love it, but I can kind of go with it. Mostly first half of the movie, then second half. But you got to deliver on the fight. And a lot of defenders of this movie say, well, you didn't like it because it was a different tone.
Oh,
it was
God.
a different tone. You get this, you know what? I'd rather this been a movie, like Kyle said, and it just be in the Matrix universe and there be no fighting. I'd rather have no fighting and it's just character-driven story. I'd rather have that than to just tease us with this fucking bullshit, man. Now, obviously, the fights aren't as bad as fucking Snake Eyes, which is still the worst edited and fight post-movie edited fight movie of the year. Okay, it's not as bad as Snake Eyes. You can enjoy these fights more than goddamn Snake Eyes. But for a Matrix movie, man, for a Matrix movie, you have dropped the fucking ball with Samurai Guy. You fucked up. You have fucked up big time, man. And all Neo did, because that's what we want, right, Rob? We want a less powered Neo, right? Right? I mean, that's what we want. But Lady Fatblood, huge Tomb Raider fan in the old game. She couldn't wait for Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness came out. And they decided to do some bullshit like this. So Tomb Raider's Lara Croft's been invincible this whole time, but in Angel of Darkness, she couldn't climb shit because she wasn't strong enough. Do you think Lady Fatblood enjoyed that shit? Neo couldn't fly. All he did was fucking block bullets. He barely did any martial arts. He didn't even grab a goddamn gun.
Oh, by the way, it would be a good time to fly right now. Not gonna happen.
No, not gonna happen.
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
I mean, I think the blue pills were a metaphor for a Neo with blue balls because he did not have the balls in this movie, man. He did. Yeah. He just no martial. I mean, there wasn't even that much martial art fighting to begin with.
No,
there was no gunplay like there was in the first movie. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Now,
so bad.
If they were going for something different, a more story character-driven movie, that's perfectly fine with me. Mm-hmm. But when you bring in these badass martial artists, these stuntmen that work their asses off, and this is how you film the fight scenes, man. What the fuck is wrong with you people? I'm sorry. I'm taking this personally, man. Yeah. I'm taking it personally. I mean, not that many people are complaining about what I'm complaining about. They're complaining about the plot and it being disappointing. But this is the heart of the Matrix for me. Like me and Rob just talked about the trilogy not too long ago, and I was completely blown away how amazing the staircase fight was and the freeway, chase was. I haven't seen it in years, and I couldn't believe how amazing that sequence was. It was 20 minutes of nonstop action, and we still shit on all the flaws that were in the movie. We still talked about what didn't work, but we remember how good, like how good that was when I rewatched it again. I was like, holy shit, there is nothing memorable in this movie. There's not one goddamn action or fight scene memorable in this movie. This is one of the most forgettable movies ever. I forgot what we were talking about. What were we here for?
It's kind of like well, let me not say anything because I don't know if anybody's seen that movie yet, but
I'm just saying, man. Now let me show you this clip before we move on. Okay. This is the stunt double. His badass name is Aristo Luis. Aristo Lewis. Okay. This badass. He's just chilling, hanging out on Instagram with two other badass stuntmen. And they're just going through the motions, trying to be creative and trying to make content and see what works and what doesn't work. This is not even them at full speed. I want you guys to watch this clip. This is the double for Morpheus. Watch this. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. This put together, hey, we're bored. Let's do some shit and have fun. Fight on motherfucking Instagram in a dojo is more memorable than your $190 million bullshit. This is where you drop the ball with me. Yep. All right. You fucked up, man. Like, I haven't been this annoyed since Snake Eyes. Okay. You seriously fucked up. Anything cool, anything, oh, I like that intellectual, philosophical, photosynthetic bullshit, mumbo jumbo that comes later. I like these ideas. And there's no point for me to go even further to enjoy your fucking movie. Do not fuck with the action. Don't fuck with the action. And again, before we move on, I'm sorry. I just had to rant. I had to rant again. Even scenes that were shot in the fucking dark in the sequels, you could still see what the fuck is going on.
Yep.
What the fuck, dude? This is like early 2000s, right? And I just screaming to go back to these days where you can actually see the fight scenes and enjoy at least the action and the creativity and the stuntmen working their asses off. But no, we don't need that because we got this bullshit. Who the fuck saw this and was like, brilliant?
Warner Brothers.
Seriously. Woo, man. It's been that long since I've been that mad.
And that is our sermon.
I'm sorry, man.
The Reverend Samurai, everyone. Please donate to the Church of Samurai.
Fuck this movie. Well, yeah. Yeah, seriously, dude. Don't bring me you come correct, bro. You making an action movie, you making a martial arts flick, you come correct. Don't fuck with us, man. You wasted everybody's goddamn time. You wasted the martial artist time. You wasted the many hours, hundreds of hours of training the fight choreography. You wasted the stuntman's time. The only good thing about this is you gave them work. That's it. That's the only good thing about this. So, all right, let's move on here. All right, where are you at now? All right, we're back to fucking Sabebe and fucking Octocles here.
That fucking Silverhawk.
Silverhawk.
That's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a fucking Silverhawk.
Yeah. So back to back to the movie here. Oh, since we're talking about the warehouse fight here, hey, Rob, thoughts on your boy?
Fucking get me started on this bullshit. God. Don't fucking get. I went on a rant with this on my review, and I got to tell you, man, that's like my favorite character, and they made him into a fucking hobo. The whole story behind this is that when the Matrix was redone, they exiled all the rogue programs. Agent Smith brought them back in, and now they're kind of stuck. Basically, they're, I guess, the computer version of being broke, having no power. So now they're just a bunch of fucking bums that pop out of nowhere and just try and beat the shit out of the crew. They really have no purpose.
So someone put in the comments in one of the trailers that during the first fight, or the dojo fight between Morpheus and Keanu, what they said was, this is what happens when you load your character from the original game into a new game, but you get all the powers again. And I was like, okay, so is this the old game now with all the old shitty characters not patched up again?
Yeah, this is like pre-beta. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking insane.
Oh wait, I just realized what this movie is. This is cyberpunk. This is
This is
cyberpunk.
cyberpunk.
2077 on its release date. This is what that movie is. I totally figured it out now.
This is basically every AAA release game, with the exception of like God of War and some other few titles. Yeah. But man, this is Madden. What this movie is. This is Madden.
Yeah, so you want to briefly talk about IO, Kyle, when they get to IO. You want to briefly talk about what's going on there?
Here's the thing. I went to the bathroom when Niobe started talking. I kid you not. I was like watching, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. This robot shit is pissing me off. Literally.
Okay, and that's another thing. Who the fuck put One-Eye Niobe in charge?
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be bad. I know this is gonna sound bad, but every time I saw Niobe, every time they showed her in this movie and that makeup she had on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if this is supposed to be 60 years later, does that mean she's in her hundreds?
She got to be like in her 80s, right? Assuming she was in her 20s in the first few movies.
If you're assuming she was in her 20s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Why did she become like this bitter old woman? That's the thing. Why did she become this bitter old woman? Because like, oh yeah, we got peace. Oh yeah, by the way, they started fighting each other. So thanks a lot. I'm like,
well, she said it in the movie. She didn't want to lose what they had. They were able to grow fruits and shit.
Yeah, they can make strawberries. I'm really excited about the blueberries.
But yeah, she's just so fucking bitter at the fact that they brought you back. And I was like, well, no shit, they brought him back because
it's kind of fucked up that when she was like showing him the tour.
Yeah.
And she was all nice. She's like, hey, and over here, Neo, is the statue of Morpheus. And he went after you saved the day 60 years ago and we had peace. Morpheus was, they gave him he ruled over Zion. They gave him more power and he loved that. But he still believed in you and everybody else still believed in you. But then they ended up all dying because of you. All right,
Zion!
Hear me.
Have a big orgy and party.
Rob, they just had they just had orgies till the machines came back and killed them.
Hey, that's the way to go, man. It's better than this shit that we saw.
Emphasis till the machines came.
Yeah. I mean, if I was Neo, Niobe was being such a bitch, I would have force pushed her off the fucking ledge. Like, screw this, bitch.
So anyway, so I know this is going to sound bad, but every time I saw Niobe in that makeup, every single time I saw her in that makeup, I just couldn't stop thinking about the fucking character from A Dark Crystal, man.
Oh shit!
I know. I'm sorry, but that makeup, man. That's all I kept thinking about was the fucking Dark Crystal. That's all I could think. I'm sorry. Anyway, back to Kujaku, Rob's favorite character. I just pre-ordered the plush for him. It's on his way. Pre-ordered the plush for him. All right, so let's talk about this character. Go ahead, Kyle.
So Sati, she was originally introduced in the third Matrix as like a daughter of an elder, and she was given to the Oracle. And after the Agent Smith virus like spread out, and finally Neo freed everyone, Sati like made this one program for Neo, and then I honestly like her character. She was with that fucking chicken hawk thing with Niobe, and she said, "Okay, I have a plan. To help Neo get Trinity back." And the fact that she was just there watching over Neo, also like the many other fucking bots that the Analyst created.
Remember, even Niobe was like pissed. She was like, "You knew all this?
Yeah,
you didn't even tell me."
Yeah,
like, she was actually kind of mad at her,
and because the fact that no one like knew that this was happening until like fucking Bugs figured it out. Like, yeah, Neo and Trinity still exists in the Matrix because that's how the Matrix can be stable. And the fact that Sati says, "Yeah, we knew there was gonna come a time because that's what my father really saw what would happen. So he made a failsafe, which gave to me. So this is my revenge to like say fuck you to the Analyst." I was like,
yeah, it's
all
over the place.
This scene. Well, when they first meet her, reminded me of the fucking Colonel Sanders scene from the fucking Matrix Reloaded, Just nothing but just sci-fi bibbity bobbity boo babble for like 45 minutes, which probably was only 5 minutes, but it felt like forever. Like just like, oh god, can we move on?
Ergo.
So anyway, the plan is to rescue, to at least snap Trinity out of it. And then it gets revealed later that excuse me, Thomas Anderson's psychiatrist is really the Analyst. Now, Rob, thoughts on the Analyst?
Oh, go to 15 minutes in my review later if you want to see a really, really funny thought on this. But essentially, the Analyst is, oh god, he is the one that is keeping Neo and Trinity just close enough to get the Matrix powered, but not too close where they mess up the system. And basically, I'm going to describe it how I described it in my video. So the way he's able to overpower Neo is that in the Matrix game, Neo created bullet time, as you all know, bullet time, right? But because he created it in the game, the Analyst was able to create it in the Matrix. So he had bullet time and Neo had bullet time, but his bullet time was better than Neo's bullet time. So he could out bullet time Neo's bullet time. So Neo still could do bullet time, but he couldn't do bullet time like the Analyst could do bullet time. So the Analyst was like the Flash and stopping everything and picking bullets out of the air. And Neo was like going slow motion. And the Analyst was talking all this bullshit and doing his bullet time thing. And there was no fighting between this main villain and Neo. It was just bullet timing and exposition. And then a bullet almost hits Trinity in the head, but he picks it out just in time. And then he goes and he gives them a choice. He essentially, for the most part, lets them kind of figure each other out. And then says, if she leaves, I win. If she stays, then you can be together and whatever.
They make a deal.
Right. Yeah. And then Agent Smith comes and saves the day.
Yeah.
When the movie decides to, oh yeah, he was in the movie. They bring him back for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
Agent Smith is the hero in this, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Crystal Light, Agent Smith, Adam Lambert, Agent Smith is what I like to call him. That's what he looks like to me.
I'm waiting to see the the pitch meeting for the Matrix Resurrections. I'm waiting to see.
It just came out today, actually.
Oh fuck!
It's really funny. I saw it. I saw it. I gotta watch this.
And did they say we're gonna make Agent Smith the good guy at the end, and then he's gonna?
I do think they reference it, but I don't think they go too far. But I do remember it being really, really funny. I want to watch it again.
Oh man, but the deal doesn't work for the Analyst, and only because her husband was just a little pushy with her.
He was
a little misogynistic there.
Just a little pushy.
He was
with
very
her.
Chad. He was a very chatty.
That's the irony there, is that he was very Chad.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. She snaps out of it and she goes, "I'm Trinity," and
that really reminded me. Remember the first Transformers when Megatron breaks free, and the first thing he's like, "I am Megatron." Like, what's the purpose of announcing yourself? Like, everybody there knows you're fucking Trinity, okay? Except you, bitch. All right.
A bit of me might want to interject because I just realized that the fact that this whole film too felt like the first film, but this time in Trinity's perspective in that weird way. Because I don't want to say it's the exact copy, but definitely if you remember how Agent Smith was like choking Neo and says, "Time to die, Mr. Anderson," and then Neo just says, "My name is Neo," and then breaks out of it.
Right.
This time it's sort of like harkening him back, and then we go into the fact that how the fuck did Trinity get powers?
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's you want to hear the irony here? I actually don't mind this portion of the story, believe it or not, because I kind of feel like if they had just gone there sooner, you know what I mean? Because I like the whole Matrix, and I like the whole Neo and Trinity dynamic. And at first, I didn't like the idea that this is what I was telling Fat Samurai. I think that's where they're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
But I think back to pretty much all the shit she went through for Neo. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you want to give her, as long as you don't take the powers away from Neo, which they didn't. He just didn't. We didn't get to see him develop on time into full blown Neo until the end when they fly off together into the fucking sunset. Yeah. What the fuck was that?
I think she was still pulling him.
No, he was flying.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, he was flying.
Okay.
You could tell. But yeah, there is a part where she is the first one to fly of the two.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, she's been up about at least 2 days less than him. And she's never had these powers where at least he's had. Fine, I'll let it go. I mean,
movie's almost over. We got to hurry up. Give her her powers.
Let's just, you know. But I mean, I don't mind. I kind of like the idea of them both being
the one.
Like this one. I guess the reason I like it is because, you know, it shows a man and a woman who love each other working together. And I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie. And I do like Trinity. She is one of my favorite characters. And I like that whole dynamic. So I guess I'm being a little bit biased because of what I like. I can understand why people are like, what's the point of it being the one if it's two of them now, which I get. Yeah, now it's the two. So, but yeah, she does fly before him, but to be fair, she can't do the bullet stop. You know what I mean? Like she never did that. He was doing the bullets, but that's all he did in the whole fucking movie. The guy didn't pick up a gun. He hardly did any kung fu. I mean, I can't wait till John Wick because I kind of feel like Keanu Reeves was nerfed in this movie. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, that's a great point, Rob. And were you okay with the two, Kyle?
Like I said, it was interesting that seeing it again in this aspect where it was like Trinity was in Neo's position this time.
Yeah.
Trying to finally get it. And I remember another friend was just talking about like she literally was so overpowering in the first film, and then Neo just fucking gets all these things in the first film and she's just pushed off aside. I was like, you know what? This sort of feels like she deserved to actually get the powers in a sense.
She pulls her weight in the original trilogy. She really does, especially in the first movie.
That's what I like about the character, though, was that she wasn't as powered as Neo, but she was still a badass.
Yeah.
She still took on agents. Was like, fuck it, I'm here to fight for my man.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? The way I see it is, the big debate now, because there's obviously female empowerment in movies is big push, and I don't mind that. Mm-hmm. My concern is this female character going to earn what she gets in this movie versus something like Star Wars, where Rey really doesn't earn the kind of power she displays by the end of that trilogy. See, the way I see it is, it could be worse, right?
Yeah,
this for me, this is like a happy medium. Yeah, because in the first movie, she basically puts her ass on the line to save this guy. Yeah, in the second movie, she dies. She dies twice for this motherfucker. Man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So to me, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm cool with this because, in my opinion, throughout the trilogy, she's earned the right to kind of have this power because she went through hell for this man. And I think it's only fair that they both share the weight. I think that's kind of how I look at relationships. You know what I mean?
And I definitely agree, Rob, because like he even says, like Neil even said that he would definitely go through hell to get her back, and he actually does. And the fact that there's those moments, like you see that SWAT team like keeping them apart, and then when they finally grab hands and then blow off all of them, I was like, okay, that I felt that. And then when they're near the end, like fighting two helicopters, but they have that moment, and then they decide to just jump off the roof together. But then you find out, she could fly, not him. And I was like, you know what? She definitely earns that. Like Trinity definitely earns that after the whole trilogy of just being like a normal badass. She finally earns like that power.
It just would have been so much better if she earned it in a better movie. Mm-hmm. Right. I think these characters, the Trinity character, the Neo character, all these characters deserve, Agent Smith, even motherfucking Morpheus, all deserved a better script. They all deserved a better movie, man. But it's cool to talk about what did work in the film.
Yeah. And this, I don't think we'll get them now because of the box office performance, but this did feel like the start of a new trilogy. You know what I mean?
Probably counting on that.
Yeah, but the problem is that, and this is the problem with the first movie and doing sequels to that, is that these two are so OP already. What's actually going to stop them? I mean, the agents in this movie were nowhere to be seen. You know, they made agents such a big deal in the first movie. And then in the second movie, suddenly Morpheus is beating agents when he almost got killed by one in the first one. This one, they abandoned them completely. Yeah, you know, you see them in a couple of chase scenes, but it's really nothing significant. and Agent Smith and Neo have one fight. It's meaningless. The Analyst. Look, I like Neil Patrick Harris. I think he's a pretty good actor. I said this in my review.
It's Dr. Horrible.
But it's just, he's basically just mocking. And then by the end of the movie, Trinity is basically breaking his jaw, slitting his throat. You know what I mean? Like, they're just beating the shit out of him at the end of the movie before her and Neo fly off together.
I like what Soti says here. Trinity was a badass without the powers. Lady Fatblood talks about Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley. But Trinity is a really badass woman too. You don't need equal powers to be equal.
No, and I never said, and I'm not saying that you do. What I'm saying is the idea of two people carrying the same weight is better. To me, signifies the foundation of any relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? We all know she doesn't need the power because we all fell in love with her before she got it. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't mind, compared to what we've seen women portrayed in movies, this to me is a happy medium. Okay, she didn't need the powers. We didn't need to go there. But at least in my eyes, she earned it. If she was going to get it, at least she earned it. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So I think she would have been better without them.
I agree with you.
She already was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's better. The whole team effort is definitely a lot better than the alternative.
Yeah.
But before we're getting close to wrapping it up here, but again, another, we just talked about some of the positives of the movie. Well, again, back to some of the negatives. Nobody in this fucking movie died.
Nope.
Not one person died in this movie, which took away any tension. And you remember the original movie where you get introduced to the team? Tank. Yeah. Hey, I can still remember some of their names, right?
Tank, Dozer, APOC, Switch.
Right? They got fucked up. They died. And especially with the very underwhelming finale here, there was a moment where two of her team members, Bugs, two of her crew members, were looking like they were going to die.
Yeah.
When they were trapped in the car and there was tons and tons of bots trying to get to them, I was like, okay, cool, they're dead. All right, cool. Finally, some tension. Let's keep. Nope, they get rescued.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
And I got to be honest,
one person dies in this movie.
And not only that, the two people that they put in that position of tension, I got to be honest, I wouldn't have given a fuck if they died.
Yeah.
They hardly had any lines.
There was no danger in this film whatsoever.
There was no danger.
Yeah.
These backup, the crew, the characters, right? The crew characters.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck about it. First of all, I've never seen the actors before. All right.
Yeah.
Second of all, they hardly had any lines. It's so weird because you could say the same thing about the crew in the first movie, but for some reason, I remember their deaths being so much more impactful. I mean, Switch didn't have a lot of lines, neither did APOC, but I remember them a hell. It's a lot easier for me to remember them and their deaths. Mouse.
Yeah. Mouse, and especially when Cypher betrays them by pulling the plug on both.
God damn you, Cypher!
Yeah,
and you
felt
this. All that.
Not like this.
Not like this. That's what I kept saying watching this movie. Not like this. Not like this.
You were just waiting for someone to pull the plug and you just go.
All right, before we wrap it up here today, guys, and give our rating of the movie, I'm gonna show. I did a poll and to see what the internet thought of the film.
Average. Well, that's generous.
Yeah. Yeah. But you notice there's more average and more horrible than amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's to be expected.
Yeah. So
and I know there's some people out there who like it. And look, if you did like it,
they love it.
Yeah.
I know some people that absolutely love it. And I think that's great. I really do.
Yeah, exactly. I personally think it's shit on a stick. I've had more entertaining times picking up my dog shit on walks than this movie. I'm like, wow, look at the size of that thing. And I watch this movie, I'm like,
all right. We're gonna give our rating of the film, and then there's one more fat rant for you guys. And let's see if I'll segue to the crew that's in here as well. All right. Kyle, 5 stars, 3 is average on the channel, and you can do 3.5, 3.3, you can do all that. What do you give Matrix Resurrection?
Definitely give it I almost want to give it a 2.9, but I'm giving it a 3 because it is just average. Yes, everyone could shit on it didn't do anything new, how the Matrix really shaped everything, but honestly, definitely the Neo and Trinity storyline definitely did it for me in that sense.
You liked it, okay.
But yeah, like I said, it would have been better if they split in half with focusing on Bugs getting Neo and then Neo trying to get Trinity at the end.
And think about it, we would have got to know the whole goddamn team, the whole crew, but in that first movie. And then we start killing them off in the next one, bring some tension. That'd be great, man.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
But that's storytelling. But who does that in Hollywood these days?
But, Sing 3 will probably beat it.
Oh, Jesus.
The next Matrix film. And
whenever that will happen.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
I like the Bugs character. Not enough for her, but I did like her. I always like the Neo and Trinity dynamic. 2.5 out of 5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's being generous because I was going to say 0, but that wouldn't be realistic. No movie's a 0.
Again, I agree with Rob. I like Bugs. I like the opening action sequences were solid before they took a shit later. And I agree with Kyle. I do like Trinity and Keanu together. However,
the action.
You give it a 2.5?
Yeah.
It just hurts more for me, despite all the interesting plot developments. It hurts more for me because there's absolutely no reason for me to watch this movie again. There's nothing in here.
That's true.
I can't even come back for the goddamn martial art fight scenes. I'm come back and watch and be depressed. And I'm always the guy that like, well, I gotta finish the collection. I gotta finish the collection on Blu-ray. I don't know. I still don't own Captain Marvel to this day.
Hey, don't feel bad. I'm a big Godzilla enthusiast. I don't own every Godzilla movie because some of them suck.
Yeah. So I was like,
this is how it happens sometimes. I got the collection that counts.
All right. For the stuntman and the martial artists involved that work their asses off, I'll give it a 2.6. I'll give it a 2.6 out of 5. And I'm only doing that because I think I gave Snake Eyes a 2.5, and I don't want to. I don't want this to be exactly like Snake Eyes. It might have been a 2. I don't know. I just want to be sure. But yeah, I should give it an average score, but unfortunately, it's below average for me. So I'm gonna go 2.6 for this. Woo! What a journey and what a fun time. Basically, talking about this movie. Oh, to put some salt on the wound. What the fuck was that scene in the end credits? The cat tricks. That was fucking cringy as fuck. Did you guys see that?
I did not stay long enough to watch that.
There's a scene at the end where you're back to the board meeting where they're talking about, but Matrix is about bullet time. And what do people like on the internet? They like cat videos. Cats. So, hey, the cat tricks. That was the end credits scene. Yeah,
very.
But to put salt on the wound for Samurai Guy. What the fuck was that atrocious remix of the Rage Against the Machine song?
Oh, fuck that.
Just put salt on the wound, why don't you?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using a different song.
You know what? 2.5.
Definitely.
I'm changing my goddamn rating. 2.5 now. Fuck it.
A friend of mine noticed that, and he was like, "Is that atrocious. The same Rage Against the Machine song?" I don't think it is. I was like, "It's a shitty cover."
It's a cover. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shitty cover of it.
Fucking horrible. That's what that is.
And someone actually pointed out in the comments that song was done by that woman that went on stage and pissed on a guy's face. I was like,
"Oh,
wow.
Oh, there we go. Quality."
I was like, "Damn."
Somebody pissed on a guy's face in a concert?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So we've come to the end. Kyle, thank you for joining me, my brother. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the fat rant. Y'all know what you need to do. In the description box below to follow Kyle on his adventures of filmmaking and martial artists and stuntman and all that great stuff, horror. Make sure you follow him. Y'all know what you need to do. Subscribe to Rob, Entertainment Talk Nation, brother. Why? Because he's so good looking. Yeah.
Oh God.
Look at that beard. Look at that Samurai Guy. What the fuck's going on over here? I don't know what's going on. I want the Rob beard, man. I mean, look at that.
Took 2 years to get it like this.
Majestic, yeah. But yeah, if you're new here and if you had fun watching the video, subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. That's right. Share the word. And again, if If you guys enjoyed the film, it's all good. All right. But people in the comments said this video is more entertaining than the movie. But I will leave you with this. Fat rant. So, before we go, I have noticed in other movie reviews in the comments, I have seen the same similar type of excuse and defense of this movie. And I kept seeing it. And no matter, I've seen a lot of videos for Matrix Resurrections after I watched the movie. And I just, for shits and giggles, I'm looking in the comments, just scrolling, and I keep seeing the same goddamn comment or version of it. And this is one of the versions of the comment I keep seeing. This comment is, don't worry, I got it. High expectations ruined people's experiences yet again. Don't blame the film, blame yourself.
Fuck
yeah. Kyle just went straight to fuck you. I kept seeing this type of comment over and over again in other videos. And all I have to say, I won't say fuck you like Kyle did, but I'll say this. Number one, that comment doesn't make any goddamn sense, okay? Because basically what you're saying is, hey, don't have any expectations in life. Hey, don't enjoy life. Yeah. You know, that's what you're saying. Hey, Rob, you know your favorite steakhouse that you love the steak there. It's like, I love that steak. You know,
Corbin put his butt cheeks on it.
And you're waiting all week. You're waiting all week, bro, for Friday to come so you can go to that steakhouse that you love so much. You can't wait to eat that steak, and the steak sucks. Well, guess what, Rob? It's your fucking fault for having high expectations for that yummy steak. Hey, Kyle, that's right.
I know. I should have went in the kitchen and cooked it myself.
Yeah. Kyle, your favorite metal band of all time. Your favorite band of all time. You love them so much. You can't wait for the new album to drop. And you've been waiting you're just so excited. You can't wait. Oh, what? The album sucked? Well, hey, Kyle, it's your fucking fault for having high expectations. This comment is bullshit. And this comment doesn't make any goddamn sense. You're basically telling us to not enjoy life. People love different things for different reasons. If you love this movie, that should be it. It doesn't matter what Samurai Guy says or Rob or Kyle says. If you love this movie, that's all that matters at the end of the day. All right? But these people apparently are butthurt that people hate the movie and they love it. And that's their attack at them. And I say, look, don't belittle other people. Other people are going to be assholes. You can say, fuck you, and then you bounce. But don't do that. Don't belittle other people, okay? Don't do comments like that, because that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You're basically saying don't enjoy life. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. Just because more people are more excited for a certain property than you, it doesn't matter. As long as you love this movie, movies in general, not fuck Matrix Resurrections, movies in general are very subjective. And as long as you love it, I know people out there that say Terminator 2 is a piece of shit movie. I've actually
all right.
heard.
Well, hold on a minute. Those people should be fucking. All right, listen, hold on. Those people need to be put on a chair in public and get fucking shown their nuts.
I know. Hear me out.
And people said this was boring.
Yeah, Dragon on Fire. What was that?
Raging Fire.
Raging Fire. Yeah.
Everyone said Raging Fire was boring.
Yeah. Boring. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Right. Or I've even heard people say, "What is the big deal about Big Trouble in Little China? This movie's garbage." I've heard and seen these things. Guess what Samurai Guy does? Guess what I do? I go, "Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Hey, babe, what pizza are we getting today?" Yeah, that's it. You move on with your life. You don't take it personally.
Well, here's the other question,
too. These type of comments I don't like, because I don't like when people belittle other people. So stop saying stop enjoying life. It's your fault that you have high expectations. Seriously, But go ahead, segue to Rob.
I was going to say, are those people aware that there are people out there that didn't have high expectations that still think the movie's shit?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter because it's one of those. If you disagree, no matter what. I mean, there's even haters out there that even if you like a movie a lot but you don't love it, they hate you. That's just how it is in social media, internet. But you got to ignore the trolls. You got to ignore that stuff. But those type of comments, Samurai Guy had to set the record straight and clear it. Stop it. Stop comments like that, okay? Because somebody didn't like what you like. Just go, oh, well, that's unfortunate. Well, that sucks to be you, I guess, and then move on. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Let it go.
I also believe that I do believe that sometimes people can go overboard with high expectations, but that still doesn't mean they're to blame. I believe at the end of the day,
they love what they love.
Well, not only that, but you're a paying customer, and you should, if you're spending money, especially now, even Hollywood's doing this now. You shouldn't shit on the fans. Exactly. You know what I mean? These people get excited. They want to see the things they love. They want to be entertained, even if their expectations are too high. They still deserve a well-established, entertaining 2 hours. Worth their money. And I'm glad I didn't go to the theater to see this. This was very disappointing. All jokes aside, all the ranting aside, it was very disappointing because I truly love The Matrix. I thought it was. I hold it in very high regard in cinema in general, and to see it get to this is just heartbreaking. Honestly, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, but that comment needs to die because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah.
So that's it. Stop saying that. And of course, me doing this will stop it, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Just like that around the world.
Everyone, don't donate donate to the collection plate to the Church of Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. $5 right there.
Donate to the Samurai Guy, the Church of Badassity. We have here $5 from Chris Pierce. That's right. What would Jack Burton do? Long live Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah,
Thank you for that whole sermon of no matter what your expectations are.
Like, share, and subscribe. Stop being a dick. That's right. Enjoy what you enjoy and like what you like, and tell everybody else to go fuck it. That's right. Go and watch the original Matrix on 4K. And fuck this movie in the yay.
Because it's fucking gay.
We got another donation to the Church of Badassity. Oh, AJ Mason. Woo! That's right. Keep Badassity alive. That's how we roll, baby. That's how everybody's busting up in comments right now. That's right. Well, and scene. All right, good job, Kyle. Good job.
Every time I get you more donations to the church.
That's so funny, dude. As soon as you did that, Sexy Sumo says, I feel the spirits in me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. That's right.
I think mostly
celebrate the raid films. Yeah. That's right.
People will be healed by just watching good movies or entertaining movies.
Oh my god!
Heal,
Loa, you are healed. That's right. Mistakes made my day. That's right. That's right. Oh, now Raider Nation's calling for the Van Damme dance, huh?
Oh shit! Is that another $20? Holy shit!
What?
You got another $20?
I think I'm wondering if you should get him to write a comment.
Oh my god. You guys are awesome. You know why? Because they're badasses themselves. They know what's up. Movie Dojo Army knows where real movies are. You know what I'm saying? The classics, Terminator 2, Big Trouble in Little China, Predator. What? Rambo 4? What? Oh shit. All day, baby. That's how we do it. All right, just for fun, we'll go ahead and play the Van Damme dance. We will end it on the Van Damme dance here tonight. Oh my god, you guys, all day, man. You guys got me laughing. Rob, before we end it Van Damme style, what else you got going on your channel this week, man?
So we got 2 videos up today. We have the Matrix review, which I'm sure you guys will find entertaining because I memed it up. And then I did a review of the Hawkeye show. I got a couple of movie reviews coming this week. Don't Look Up, I should say. A couple of more aged movie reviews, Invasion review, Ted Lasso review, bunch of shit. And then my streams at night starting tomorrow night.
Oh, there you go. On fire, son. On fire. And that's right. OmniBlast Movie Dojo Army know what's up, man. That's right. And earlier I saw a comment really quickly. Where'd it go? There we go. Dio says, is it bad that he enjoyed the movie even it has a lot of flaws? No.
No, not at all.
Enjoy life. Unlike these other comments telling you not to enjoy life. Have fun.
Like,
have fun. It's all
everyone
good.
here enjoys Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Van Damme as Guile.
Yeah.
Raul Julia as Bison.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but we love it.
We love it.
Well, I don't know about Rob, but
Remember,
me and Kyle love it because it's hilarious.
Change the channel.
It's hilarious. But yeah, enjoy life, guys. All right, life is short. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and have fun. Enjoy it. Love what you love, and fuck everybody else. In the words of Rambo, fuck the world. All right, we're gonna end it with that. End it with the Van Damme dance. Thank you, everybody, for watching. All right, guys, take care. Keep watching movies. Keep being yourselves. Don't let nobody change you. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.